spoken to the one witness earlier tonight saying that that they saw one person on the ground, and we do have video of an ambulance presumably taking someone to the hospital via police escort. Here is that video. This is from Lauren Kostick, who's at Eskenazi Hospital, keeping an eye on you know, any victims that we have been seeing coming to the hospital. And there's a squad car there with an ambulance, lights and sirens on its way to Eskenazi, and that would be a place and that victims would go tonight. A
level 1 trauma center. It's set up to handle, you know, the most complex and critical injuries. They don't have to, they've got the doctors right there. They have all the specialists. They don't have anybody who's on call and has to be paged to come in. So you can come in and get that type of level 1 trauma care immediately there at Eskenazi. You can also get that at Methodist Hospital. We see that often with the race car drivers. You know, when we're talking about this FedEx facility, we're not talking about the hub. We're talking about the FedEx facility that's on Maribel Road. So we want to make sure that there's not confusion about that, about where this incident happened tonight. I'm hearing that there are people that are working at the hub right now, and that work is continuing, and that people are confused and thinking that perhaps it's their facilities, yeah. But it is not. It is not the hub facility.
Yeah, the address that came out as part of this run tonight was 8951 Mirabel Road. That's just a little bit north of Ameriplex Parkway and I-70, as you can see by that map. But it's in that area of the Indianapolis International Airport and the huge FedEx plant that is out there. But as when the authorities come to the microphone here any minute, we're hoping to get more information about where this shooting took place earlier tonight. Again, you're taking a look at I-70 because earlier this evening, I-70 was closed for a period of time. It's now reopened. We are expecting the investigators to come to the microphone here momentarily and give us an update.
Let's take that camera because you can see the state police there. You can see a state police trooper. It looks like an IMPD officer now coming together. It looks like they're getting ready to
give us an update.
Last final thoughts there before they address the media. Certainly a lot of people want to hear what they have to say. You know, when you have this first reports coming out an hour and a half ago.
Right.
And, you know, you want to know what's going on. So it looks like they're getting ready now to come up and say a few words.
So let's go ahead and listen in.
Good evening. Just after 11 o'clock this evening, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department officers responded to 8951 Mirabel Road to the FedEx building. They responded on the report of shots being fired at that business. As officers arrived, they came in contact with an active shooter incident. Preliminary information at this time is that the shooter has taken his own life. We don't feel that there is an active threat to the community at this time. We have multiple people with injuries consistent with gunshot wounds. We have others that have been transported to various hospitals throughout the area. We are asking that if you have family members that work at FedEx and you have not been able to make contact with them and you are responding out here, that you go to the Holiday Inn Express located at 8555 Stansted Drive. IMPD Chaplain's Office, along with several others, will be at that location to assist. Out of respect for the family members that are involved, we'll be back shortly for additional information. Thank you.
So you can't confirm if anyone has passed?
All right, so there we've got our first official confirmation about what has happened tonight. So again, just to recap what we've heard, Ann, around 11 o'clock tonight, IMPD officers arrived there at the FedEx building on 8951 Mirabel Road. They heard that there had been shots fired at the business. Officers saw an active shooter incident, is how they put it. They said that the shooter has taken his own life. There's no active threat to the community. Multiple victims with gunshot wounds transferred to local hospitals. And if you've got family members, you're urged to go to the Holiday Inn Express.
And we want to make sure that you realize that that is different from what we were reading earlier. That was the Hilton Garden Inn. So that's the Holiday Inn Express. Did you get that address?
I did not.
It was Stansted
Road.
That's near Ameriplex and Flynn Road. That's the Holiday Inn Express. 8555 Stansted Road, the Holiday Inn Express. So that is if you are wanting to find what is the status of a loved one that you've not been able to make contact with that was working at this FedEx facility at 8951 Mirabel Road. Talking about people with multiple injuries and taking them to various hospitals. Again,
Right.
That's what we expected. You know, you don't want to overwhelm these trauma units, and that's part of the plan. You know, they have these emergency meetings in the medical community. If we have a big incident, how are we going to divide up the patients, make sure they get to the facilities, not overwhelm one staff at one hospital, and it sounds like they've done that tonight. Out of respect to the families, she said, we're going to be talking to you later, so there's some notifications that need to be made about injuries, and they want to do that to the family first before they would perhaps find out publicly, which certainly is understandable.
So this is a tragic night for the city of Indianapolis. Multiple victims following a shooting at a FedEx building near Indianapolis International. Multiple victims. We don't have an exact number at this point. IMPD telling us multiple victims with gunshot wounds taken to local hospitals. The shooter has apparently taken his own life. The shooting happened around 11 o'clock tonight. They got a report of shots fired at the FedEx building on Mirabel Road. Again, these multiple victims now transferred to local hospitals, and family members who've got to be just very worried about their own loved ones who work at that facility now being told to go to the Holiday Inn Express.
And I imagine a very traumatic night for the people that were at that facility.
Right.
to be working, you know, and then to have something like this come up, you know, be blindsided by that. I'm sure that there's just a lot of shock and hurt and pain
Right.
and fear. Emily Longnecker, you know, she talked with us real quickly, but she's gathering and talking to people at the scene to try to, you know, understand what happened inside that facility, you know, what was that like, and what are the eyewitness accounts. And so that's some of the information that we're working to bring you. We are going to take a short break right now. We don't want to just sit here and keep repeating the same information over and over. That's not doing anybody any good. But if we do get new information, we will come back on and bring it to you, and especially from our crews there at the scene and also IMPD, Scott.
All right, so we'll continue to update you throughout the morning across all of our digital platforms. So be sure that you're checking the WTHR News app, WTHR.com, our Facebook and Twitter accounts. We'll be updating you throughout the morning. And when we have new information to bring you, we'll be doing so not only there, but also here on 13 News. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll continue to monitor this breaking news at FedEx tonight on this tragic night here in Indianapolis.